Hi, Liz. So this is me showing you what the flip chart is for January Composer of the Month. So here's first page. Next page, Joseph Haydn, born in 1732, died in 1809. Remind the kids, that he's super dead a long time ago. And then they're ask him who he looks like, and they're going to say he looks like George Washington. So then you can pull up this little arrow, and you can talk about, they both were wearing the wig because it showed everybody they were important. You can ask another kiddo, what else do they have in common? They were both born in the same year. Who died first? By how many years? And then a reset. And then next page. Have them read out loud. Haydn was born in Austria. A lot of them want to say Australia. A small country in Europe. Haydn was friends with another composer also born in Austria. Here's the big map of Europe. When you click on it, anywhere on the map where it gives you that little blue guy, it should bring up that little country, which is Austria. So remind them that Tchaikovsky was born in Russia, so he wasn't born in Austria, and Russia's like way over here. And not Handel, because Handel was born in Germany and later moved to England. So that leaves Mozart. Mozart was the other composer, also born in Austria, and they were friends because they were alive at the same time. They knew each other. Reset. Next page. Reading out loud. Haydn was a famous composer. He wrote music for symphony orchestras. Underline symphony. Make sure they talk about that a symphony orchestra is a huge group, which makes Handel's job a lot harder. And then reset. Next page. But when people came in to listen to his music, they would fall asleep. Keep going. How would that make Haydn feel? Make sure you're on the little arrow guy for this, because when you click on that, on his portrait, then the little tongue pops up, and yay, kids giggle. And then make sure you reset. Next page. Haydn was a really smart dude. He had a big surprise. Next page. Can you hear a surprise? I have them close their eyes for this. And then when you click on that, the little sound guy is going to come up and bring up the volume all the way. And they should be listening with their eyes closed. Boom. There's the big surprise. So then we stop. We can talk about it. Did you hear the big surprise? Yes. Awesome. Next page. Now have them play it again for them and track along with them. The older kiddos should know to say like TT and ta and all that stuff. So then reset. Play again. T, 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 ta. Move your mouse so they can follow. T, 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 ta. T, 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 ta. Most of them will be singing along a little bit at this point. T, 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 ta. T, 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 ta. T, 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 ta. T, 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 T. And then you pause it. And then have a kid come up to the board, ask, where's the big surprise? And they'll always get it. It's this big guy over here with the two F's. And then next page. Let's move this out of the way. This won't be in your way because this will be up on the active board at that point. Have him read it out loud. Haydn used dynamics to create his surprise. In music, dynamics means volume, how loud or soft the music is played. So this is a little sound controller over here. It's not really. It's just a little doodle that I came up with, but whatever. So if you click on it, and then use the up and down arrows on your keyboard, those guys, you can start dragging them down and say, when you pull the volume all the way down, it gets softer and softer and softer, like pianissimo. When you pull it all the way up, then it gets louder and louder and louder, and it gets mezzo forte, forte, and fortissimo, blah, blah, blah. And then next page, just try not to click this guy around, because if you click him and drag him, then he just kind of wanders around and messes it up a little bit. So I tried to just use the arrows on that guy. La la la. Good enough. Okay, next page. You can show them this is another way to think about it, where the dynamics go. So when you click on this guy, brings up this little box, and drag the little sideways arrows. You can wheel them around. So you say, this is as soft as it gets. Over here is as loud as it gets. So if this is as loud as it gets, then what goes here? And have the kids raise their hands. The two F's go there. And then next one down would be 1F. And then MF, the M is for medium, so medium, mezzo forte, medium loud. And then next one over is medium soft, and then soft, and then super soft. And a lot of them giggle with saying PP, but whatever. Next page, reset. La la la. So talk to the kids, go to your pen over here and say, handle starts off with what dynamic, and, move it to P, and then circle P. And then that's the first line. The second line, it goes to the 2 Ps, which is even softer. So then you can circle that. And then the big surprise is the double Fs over here. So then you go back to your cursor, and then you can drag this guy around. So he starts over here with piano, he goes to pianissimo, jumps all the way to fortissimo over here. And the big surprise is that big jump. La la la, reset. Next page. And why do you think he did that? So then have the kids, talk to your neighbor 20 seconds, 30 seconds. They should be talking about how, Haydn was a little grumpy and upset that people kept falling asleep. So he put in this big surprise to kind of wake him up and play a little prank on him. So this is a video of just some random conductor guy. Pause the video, ask the kids, are we looking at a video of Haydn? Most of them should say no. They'll probably, touch on the fact that the guy's not wearing the wig, Haydn didn't have glasses or whatever. I really want you to stress and go back to, whoops, let's go back here. Scroll all the way back up if you need to, back to this page, and remind them, he was living and died a long time ago before there were any cameras, phones, any of that. So we don't even have pictures of him. This is not a photograph, this is a painting. So talk about that. Then back to video. So the point of this video is I just want them to watch, I'm turning the volume down so I can talk to you. I just want them to watch the conductor, to see what the conductor does to transition to a softer dynamic and then to that really, really loud dynamic. So they're watching, you're asking them to watch the conductor. How does he transition from soft to softer? And it's coming up, right there. So he crouches down and he kind of shushes him with his mouth. So talk about how, he doesn't say shush out loud, but that gesture with the mouth, everyone knows what that means. So now the loud stuff is coming up. So focus the kids, say, what is the conductor going to do with his body to get him to play loud? Boom. So then we pause. So ask the kids, what did he do to get him to play loud? He used a lot more energy. He made his conductor's baton go up way higher. So the bigger the space he uses with the conductor's baton, the louder they get. The smaller the space he uses with the baton, the softer they get. So now reset the video right there. Have the kids watch it one more time, and this time their job is to be the conductor. They have to show you, if they were the conductor, how would they get the orchestra to play soft? How would they get them to transition to play softer? And then what would they do to get the orchestra to do that big crazy surprise with the fortissimo? So then they're listening, they're watching. They might be waving their little fingers around, like pretending that's the baton. And remind them, load them up, he's going to get softer. You should see him crouching down. Their baton movements should get a little bit smaller. And remind them again that big surprise is coming up. Tell them to think ahead. Boom. And then if you want to, you can continue the video a little bit. You don't have to if you're getting a little short on time. That'll depend on various classes. And then the quiz is just whatever. Fun little questions. You can give out swim bucks for this stuff if you have kiddos that are paying attention. So you need to go to this little magic eraser guy over here. See the magic eraser? We click on him. So you have kids raise their hand. Haydn was born in what year? And you can erase. A lot of times reset. If they get like the 1700s but they don't know the next number, you can slowly erase. So 1732. Yay. Who else was born in that year? That was George Washington. What other composer was born in that year? Mozart. We're giving out swim bucks for these. Make sure you reset before you go to next page. Haydn wrote music for what kind of orchestras? The big word there is symphony orchestras. And remind the kids, if it's a symphony orchestra, that means it's a bigger group, which makes Haydn's job a lot harder. Haydn used drastic changes in volume to surprise his audience. The musical term for volume level is, most of them won't get this. So start it off, just erase like the D. They're gonna like give you all this stuff down here. Oh, it's 2 Fs and whatever. So start them off with the D, then maybe give them the Y, die, and then the kid will like maybe say dynamics if you're lucky. Dynamics, yay. And then all this very soft stuff, you start over here with the softest, and the kids get a little giggly for all the P stuff. Yay. And next one on the loud side, start them off on the loud side. The loudest of all is 3 Fs, and then 2 Fs, and then 1 Fs, and then M. The M is for medium. Try and remind them of that. What dynamics does Haydn use in his piece? So he starts off with, have a kid raise their hand for this one, 1 P, and then he gets softer to go to 2 Ps, and then the big surprise is 2 Fs, and then reset. Something that I just added in just for the older grades, like 3rd and 4th, you'll have 3rd and 4th maybe. Bonus research question. This is not a question that you're telling them the answer to. This is just something kind of fun and weird and creepy historical fact stuff. So just take this whole box, make sure you're on the little arrow guy, take the whole box and drag it down. The question is, why are there 2 skulls inside Haydn's coffin? This is where he's buried. The answer is basically some guy after he died, they stole his head because they believed in a science back then called phrenology, which was measuring the skull to figure out, if people were good at certain things or other things. It's totally bunk. It's the same, you can use the analogy or the metaphor of a lunchbox, like trying to measure a lunchbox on the outside to predict what the kid is eating for lunch on the inside. It's not going to tell you anything, But that's the reason why. So some guy stole his head. When they buried him originally, they replaced his missing head with someone else's head. And then it took 145 years for the original head to be reunited with his body, and they never actually removed that replacement head. So there's 2 skulls in his coffin, which is weird. But you don't have to tell him that. Just give him the question, give him some Post-its, pens if they want to write it down, and then send him home and tell him if they come back to class with the answer, then they get swim bucks next week. So that's only for 3rd and 4th. Don't do it to 2nd. I wouldn't give it to them. It's a little too creepy and out of their league. And then this guy will take you all the way back. If you don't remember how to get into my flip chart, so you open up, you turn on the computer, the username is mheiler, the password is mailman1, all lowercase, and then you go, let's get rid of all that stuff. You go up here to where it says flip charts right there, and click on that guy. You open up Miriam's flip charts, you go to composer of the month, and it's January, which is Joseph Haydn right there. So you just double click that guy and he'll pop open. I think that's everything. The remote for the active board will be on my desk somewhere. There's the active board. You know how that all stuff works. And I think everything else is good. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to get this video up for you on YouTube, and I'll share it with you as soon as I can. Okay, love you, thank you, bye. Bye.